Hello everyone, my name is Arkham and welcome back to another SH Figuarts review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Makima from Chainsaw Man. Now it has been a while since I've done any Chainsaw Man related content, but I will be getting a couple of those figures soon, especially Chainsaw Man, so be on the lookout for that. But now, let's take a look at Makima. This one is the one that I've mentioned that I was going to get back in January, so she's here now. No longer am I going to wait until August for the global release because I was able to get it at Hobby Genki. Thank you, Hobby Genki, for having this in stock. So without further ado, let's get in and see what she comes with. Alright, so here we have Makima in surprisingly a small amount of stature compared to what she actually was in the anime, but she actually was somewhat short, which is something I've seen people sort of complain about, that she is quite short compared to the other figures. And now looking at it, she is around 5.5 inches from toe to head. That is a very small size for a figure, especially SH Figuarts. I know SH Figuarts is not scaled to any sort of measurement, but she is tiny. I don't know why. I'm gonna get up close with her because, again, she is tiny. I want to get the most out of her. So, in terms of aesthetic, she looks pretty good. Everything seems to have been sculpted very nicely done. There are a couple of issues that I will get into in the articulation section, but she looks nice. She looks fine. Everything looks great. The shoes being glossy compared to everything just being a matte sort of satin finish, I guess, is just perfect. I will say, the joints just being pure plastic instead of actually painted kind of suck, because these, while they're a little glossy, they're the same plastic as this, but these are not, so I don't get it. But yeah, in terms of aesthetic, she looks great. Articulation, I will say I have seen people sort of complain about her articulation, but I think it works fine. So for the head, she does move it to side. She is able to move it side to side. I don't know what she has. I kind of don't want to find out without taking it off. A double ball joint peg. So a double ball jointed neck, which is great. That is something that every figure should have. So if I can get that back in. There we go. Okay, so she is able to move side to side pretty well. Back and forth, going forward that much. Pretty good range. Going backwards, not so much, but she can look up at a little bit. And of course, you have your swivel. For the shoulders are actually somewhat well engineered compared to the previous Chainsaw Man figures from what I've seen. So she is able to do a great she has great butterfly joints to where she can almost cross her arms without bending them, which is awesome. That is great engineering in my opinion. But she can move it 360 degrees, which is typical for an SH Figuarts. And of course there's the sleeves for the shoulder pads and whatnot, which sort of hide the joints, which is great. Elbows, single jointed elbows, not getting the most articulation, a little bit further than 90 degrees. Or, yeah, pretty much. So from here to here, a little bit more than 90 degrees. She doesn't have a bicep swivel, but she does have a forearm swivel because of the joint. And wrist swivel, and of course, wrist going forward that much, going backwards that much. Looks great. Now, same for the other arm, so yeah. I'm gonna get to this in a minute. So for the legs, she can kick forward this much, and then she can kick backwards this much. So she can do the forward splits pretty good, in my opinion. I think this looks great. And yes, she does have sculpted butt cheeks, but you are able to bend this plastic because it is soft plastic. For the splits, that is another thing that she cannot do without actually popping the joints out. So, yeah, as you can see, it doesn't work that well. So she can only go this far, at least for my copy. I don't know if other people's copies can go forward or doing the splits better, but this is as far as she goes from me. So yeah, and that's without popping the joints. So knees, single jointed knees look fine overall. A little bit weird on how they're done, but it looks fine. She does have the foot going forward that much, going backwards this much, and of course the toe hinge, which looks pretty good actually, but no shoe should bend this much realistically, but it works. Now, the ab crunch. I don't know why they did this. So going backwards is fine, but she does have a cut right here for the shirt. It looks weird. It's soft plastic, just to let you know, so realistically you should be able to get some movement out of it, but not the most. So going backwards is pretty good. Doesn't have as much gaps. Going forward is almost non-existent, which is sort of disappointing to say the least. But yeah, that is Makima's articulation. A little lackluster, especially for a figure like her. Granted, she doesn't do the most excessive poses throughout the series, so it kind of makes sense, but the lack of torso articulation does warrant this figure to not be as sought after. But yeah, besides that, now we can look at the accessories, and my god, she comes with a lot of accessories. So let's look at those real quick. Alright, so here are all of the accessories for Makima, besides the main grabbing point, which is the cloth jacket, or the coat. So this is pure cloth, by the way, so this already kind of looks great. Not so much from the inside, but from the outside it looks very well stitched together. Hopefully there's like no extra pieces or dirt. I mean, there's some dirt, but yeah, what am I gonna do with that? I don't know. But yeah, to put it on, before going into every other accessory, similar to any figure, you want to put the arms back, get that first arm in, get the second one in, and we'll look at the articulation with this one in a little bit. So get it all the way in, don't bend the arms. Honestly, I love it. I think it looks great. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it looks great. She's still able to bend pretty well. A little bit restricted in some sections. For example, I can't tell where the joint is. Okay, there we go. So there's the elbow joint. A little bit more restrictive in terms of how far you're able to get the joints. The legs should still be fine. You can just put them out and that kind of stuff. So she looks great with the coat on. So it does have a bendy wire on the outline of the coat, which does hold the shape very well, to be honest. So I'm quite surprised how magnificent this piece of cloth is. A little bit better compared to the Super Saiyan Gohan clothing piece. And if you want to put the ponytail out, I'll do that later. So yeah, she looks great with the coat. Now, for the other accessories, she comes with 4 different facial expressions. There is this one where she is like very serious, not really giving much emotion. A little bit disappointed on that face in terms of how she looks. Not that I'm disappointed on how she looks, it's like the disappointment on the face shows there. So there's that. A winking face with not a smile, but a small smirk. A sort of happy open mouth face, which looks great. And a more so shocked or questioning expression. And yes, while I'm not able to get into the biggest amount of detail with my camera, you are able to see the swirls in her eyes. Now, she does come with 2 different leg pieces that you can put together to give her more of that crouching position. If you put them like this, they look like the McDonald's shirt that was memed to death a long time back then. So there's that, the McLovinit shirt. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, leave that comment in the comments. So hands, she comes with a lot of hands, so it's a lot of pieces right there. So first one we're gonna look at, she does come with a lollipop holding hand with the lollipop in it. Looks great. She does come with 2 pointing hands, 2 relaxed hands, 2 sort of motioning hands, which is nice. Come on, camera, thank you. 1 sort of grabbing hand, or wait, this is the one where she puts her hand on her knee while squatting, and another one as well, more so different expression on that hand. 2 extended hands, and of course the crossing hands instead, so you can put those arms together. So there is that. Now, leading on to my final thoughts for this figure, I do think that this figure is great overall. Do I think that the scale for this figure is a little bit on the small side? I do think so, and to that, sort of leading into some size comparisons, I'm going to put some images of different figures to compare her to. She's a little bit on the small side, which I'm quite surprised with. If she was a little bit taller, I think she would have been perfect. I don't know where they got their heights and everything, because she is supposed to be slightly taller than Power, I think. Or the other way around, I'm not entirely sure. I might be completely wrong, so don't quote me on that. But as a final score, I'm gonna give this figure a 9 out of 10. Actually, wait. Let me do this. An 8.5 out of 10. The main reason for it is because, while she does come with a lot of accessories and she looks overall fantastic, almost seamless, that's where the issue lies. The seamless look does conflict with the articulation, especially the ab crunch not having as much articulation, the legs not being able to go full spread eagle. I'm sorry, full splits on the figure. I feel that's lackluster, so it does bring it down for me a couple of points. So an 8.5 out of 10 is my final score. She looks perfect overall. I think the coat looks amazing on her. They did a wonderful job with that piece of fabric. I'm probably gonna pose her up with that coat itself because it looks so good. But yeah, that is all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. Do you have her next to your other Chainsaw Man figures? I promise you I will have more in the upcoming future as I'm able to find good deals for them. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys think of this figure, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.